baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome back, guys. Really appreciate you all tuning in tonight, of course, once again. And if you would, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff really does help us out. I wanted to talk about this tonight because I don't think it's been said enough. I mean, in certain circles it probably has been, but I don't think I've said it enough. I want to talk about the back end of the rotation really quickly. Reynaldo Lopez and Spencer Schwellenbach, because those two guys right now, I know Schwellenbach just got up, but just hear me out. Reynaldo Lopez specifically for a second, 1.57 ERA. All right, that is not only the best in the majors, but he's also got the best ERA plus in the majors. He's only got a 5-2 record. That's not too standout, but what do wins and losses mean anymore? Regardless of what he does this year, regardless of if he finishes the year like he's been pitching, what he has done so far, the impact he has had on this rotation, on this team, up until this point, has been nothing short of immeasurable. He has been a fundamental piece of this rotation when no one really expected him to be. If you throw it back to spring training, if you look back then and you realize what we were saying, what I was saying, what you were saying about Reynaldo Lopez, you were kind of scratching your head going, what are the Braves doing? What do they expect this guy to be? Like, do they really think this average reliever with a 4 ERA is going to be able to be a starting pitcher and be mildly successful? We find ourselves here in the later half of June, and he's one of our best pitchers so far this year. He certainly had the best ERA. He's certainly been one of the most consistent, and that's not an easy task when your rotation consists of guys like Sale, Fried, Morton. You know, it's not an easy task to complement that, and he's been able to do it. So I really wanted to focus on it.
Are you ready to save big on a new Chevrolet?
Make your way to Glen Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox, discounted up to $6,500 off. The powerful Chevy Silverados are up to $13,750 off. And the big Chevy Silverado 2500 HTs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Glen Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
I saw this today. Reynaldo Lopez is only the 7th Braves starting pitcher to throw 13 straight starts to open the season with 3 earned runs or fewer. Okay, 7. I'm sure you can probably guess who most of those are. One of them, the last one to do it, was back in 2010. It was Tim Hudson. So if that tells you anything as to where Reynaldo Lopez finds himself right now, he has been phenomenal for the Braves, and hopefully he continues to do so. And when you look at where we were before the season, where you thought we were going to have a rotation consisting of Fried, Strider, Morton, Sale, Reynaldo Lopez as possibly your 5th guy. Imagine, just imagine for a second, if Spencer Strider wasn't hurt, right? The Braves would have a premier starting 5. And that's not to say that they couldn't still have that, because we have to talk about Spencer Schwellenbach as well. Of course, Reynaldo Lopez had a great series against the Tigers. Spencer Schwellenbach did not get off to the greatest of starts. I will fully admit that. But since then, he's had 2 back-to-back starts that have been really good. In his last appearance, this is against the Tigers in Game 2, which the Braves ended up winning 2-1. He threw 6 innings with only giving up 1 earned run. That's pretty darn good, and that was more along the lines of what we were hoping he would be, right? Because in his first start, you know, it's hard to hold that against him. It's your first major league appearance. You throw one bad pitch, you hit a guy, and then all of a sudden you kind of lose it, right? Is that a defense? No, but what I'm telling you is he's bounced back, because that was his last start. The start before that, and this is for all you guys out there saying, okay, yeah, Tyler, he threw 6 innings, he gave up 1 run, but it's against the Tigers. Well, he also threw 6 innings pitched and only gave up 2 against the Orioles. So there's definitely potential there. Run support certainly helps, but the potential with Spencer Schwellenbach cannot be denied. The back end of this rotation is starting to show that it's got more depth than, frankly, I initially realized, and I would even argue that probably most of you initially realized, because where we find ourselves right now with this trade deadline looming, starting pitching may not necessarily be that big of a need. And that's not to say that it's still not a need. I definitely think at some point it will be.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glen Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glen Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
Going into next year without Charlie Morton possibly and without Max Fried possibly, you are in a bit of an uncertain situation. So I still think starting pitching could be targeted for the Braves at the deadline, but it would be a definite if it was not for the 2 guys I just mentioned, Reynaldo Lopez and Spencer Schwellenbach right now. And mainly Reynaldo Lopez, right? Having that 4th guy, the 5th guy you can kind of explore options with. Schwellenbach's been able to hold it down so far. And I'll be honest with you, I think we all thought that Hurston Waldrop would have been the guy between the 2 who would come in and be able to hold it. A.J. Smith-Shawver, has kind of been passed over and forgotten about it over the past couple of weeks. Not to say that he can't come back. I certainly think he can. What I'm telling you is the Braves have better options than what I think we initially thought. Because if you were asking me a month ago, I was going, look, we got to go get starting pitching because we're going into the offseason again with a potential of losing Charlie Morton to retirement and Max Fried to free agency. I was not so sure about the depth. Yeah, I knew we had Bryce Elder. I knew we had A.J. Smith-Shawver, but I didn't think we had any guys that were a professional pitcher that could help you right now, right? That could come up and be the guy that you trust your rotation in the hands of going into next year. You have Chris Sale, but other than that, what did you really have? Now we know, hey, we do have Reynaldo Lopez. That's comforting to know going into next year. And you also have this list of guys who you can either trade or you could, build the franchise around. Spencer Schwellenbach seems to be in the category of, hey, we're going to showcase this guy. We're also going to give him some experience. We're going to see what he is and if we want to keep him or if we want to capitalize on his success right now. And the Braves will have to decide what they do with that. But what we can say for right now is Reynaldo Lopez has had a great first half up until this point. I know we still have some time left, but you can't exactly argue with not only the best ERA in the rotation, but the best ERA in the majors. You cannot argue with that, and it's not a close lead. I believe he's got a 157 ERA. Ranger Suarez is in second, and it's like 175. So it's not like it's back-to-back. He has got the lead in the majors by a substantial margin. That's not to say it can't change. It definitely can. But what I'm telling you is I think that Reynaldo Lopez has came into this season wanting to prove that he not only can be a starter, but he can stay a starter. And I think he's certainly proved that up until this point. We'll see what happens. There's, over the next year, a lot can happen. But I think Reynaldo Lopez is just one of another of these many Alex Anthopoulos branded moves under the radar that turn out to be, man, where did this guy come from and who is he, right? And all of a sudden, here we are once again.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.